And we back. Now, we're continuing part 3 of this series. So, a couple weeks ago, we uploaded a video saying I'll reset the NBA to 2003 before LeBron James was drafted. He was drafted to Utah Jazz, and we went on from there. Then we uploaded a video saying something about 2008, and now we're in 2011, 2012. But at the end of last video, I told y'all that we're going to be taking this Knicks team, and I'm just going to be the GM because I'm tired of it. They have been in the lottery for the past 6 years, and look at their team. Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, J.J. Redick, DeMarcus Cousins in his sophomore year, and this year they drafted Inez Cancer. They have all these draft picks, and they cannot make the playoffs. So I said, I'm going to take over and try to rebuild this amazing fantasy team, this team that should not only be making the playoffs, but should be really good contenders. 22-year-old Russell Westbrook is a 93 overall. Shooting guard position is fire. Small forward, these are auto-generated dudes, but they're already 87, 86 overalls. And then power forward, auto-generated dudes. And then DeMarcus, Brad Miller, old Brad Miller, and Inez Cancer. There's no way this team should make the playoffs, but they haven't. So I'm going to take this team over in 2011, 2012, and try to help them, A, make the playoffs, and B, win it all. But I got to catch y'all up on what's going on in the league. Kobe is still in the league at 33 years old. He's a 99 overall. They just lost Shaq. Him and Shaq just parted ways because Shaq actually retired. But the rest of this team is not very good. They made it to the Western Conference Finals last year with Shaq, but then Shaq retired after losing. And they got Darius Miles on the squad, Antonio McDyess, but overall, not a very good team. And they overall say they're a good team, 87, 88, 86s. But compared to the other teams, that's not very good. So next, we got the Orlando Magic with Tim Duncan, who is like a 100-time Defensive Player of the Year. Let me show y'all this streak. 8-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's won it 8 years in the row. He's 35 now, but he's still a 99 overall. Then we have T-Mac, David West, John Wall, who they literally just drafted. This is in his second season, so this team is good. They got some young players in John Wall, but they also got the vets, and they're always making the playoffs. Then we had, actually no, they're not always making the playoffs because John Wall was a second overall pick. So last year they did not make the playoffs. Next, we got the Mavs, who of course still have Dirk. They have Gilbert Arenas. They have a young Blake Griffin, a young Kevin Love, Jamal Crawford, Danny Granger. That team is actually pretty solid. They have made the playoffs in the last couple years. Then we have the Nets, who just have Richard Jefferson, who in real life is already retired, but he's a 90 overall. They got Lamar Odom. Team not very good. Then we got the Nuggets, Jermaine O'Neal, Carmelo Anthony, Mike Miller, Nene, decent team, and a young Lou Will off their bench. That team is on the up and up. Carmelo Anthony's now 27 years old. Again, we started this video Carmelo's rookie season. So that's how long. That's why this is part 3, because can you imagine if that was one very long video? It would have been like 2 hours long. Then we got the Pacers, who have Sean Marion, Dwight Howard. I'm going to try to breeze through these next couple. Ron Artest is in Detroit with Nick Collison, who's an 87 overall. Again, we're in a fantasy world, and the way 2K works, if you're young, your overall is going to go up every single year. So Nick Collison is still getting a lot better. Chauncey Billups is still on the team with James Posey. Their reign is pretty much over. Their players are pretty old. Then we have the Raptors, who have KG, Vince Carter, Al Jefferson, generator dude who's an 86. Their team is solid. They won a championship a few years ago. They're trying to do it again, but they're getting kind of old. And then we have Yao Ming, Ray Allen, Wally Zerviak. We got Yao Ming without the injuries, baby. Alternate universe. Leandro Barbosa. Spurs have Rashard Lewis, Tony Parker, Corey Maggette. Suns have Amari Stoudemire still with Joe Johnson still. Stephon Marbury, who I think, let me look at his accolades. If I'm not mistaken, he won an MVP. Oh, not an MVP. He won a championship. So now he's on the Suns. The Supersonics still have their team. I'm not taking the Supersonics away from Seattle. Nuh-uh, I would not do that. I'm not that type of dude. But they have Kyle Lowry, and somebody pointed out to me last video, they just drafted DeMar DeRozan. So, well, I guess not just drafted, but he's in year 2. So, DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry are teammates once again. Then we have the Timberwolves, who have Rudy Gay and a bunch of generated people. Elton Brand is on the Trailblazers. The Warriors did not get Stephen Curry. They didn't get Klay Thompson. They didn't get Draymond. So this is a whole different team. They got an auto-generated dude who's a 94. Jason Richardson, Carlos Boozer, Marc Gasol. They're not a bad team, but they're not the team that we know today. Then we got the Wizards, who have Mike Conley and Larry Hughes. The 76ers have AI and Stephen Curry. Two of the greatest guards of our generation. I guess Allen Iverson's a little bit before maybe your generation, but my generation. But he is 36, which means he'll probably be retiring soon. Luol Deng, Serge Ibaka. This team made some trades last episode to get their team better defensively with Luol and then drafted Serge. So they're doing their thing. This Clippers team that you're going to see, you're going to be surprised at how good that Clippers team is. But you got to wait on it. DeAndre Jordan plays for the Bucks. The team is not very good. The Bulls have AK-47, Tyson Chandler, Michael Redd. This team actually won a championship. I think 2. Yeah, they won 2 championships. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, not a very good team. Celtics still have Paul Pierce. They have Derrick Rose. It's just weird to even think about, but there he is. The Clippers. Look at this Clippers team. They're still pretty young. But they're on the up and up. James Harden, 21. LaMarcus Aldridge. Iggy. Richard Hamilton. Big Rip. Greg Oden, without the injuries, again. Andre Miller. Josh Smith. Brook Lopez. They drafted Paul George recently. This team. Oh, and don't give. I forgot. Kemba too. So this team, give them 2-3 years. Give them 2-3 years. They're going to be running the NBA. Then we got the Grizzlies, still have Powell. They have Kevin Durant, and they have Zach Randolph. The Hawks have Tony Parker, Joakim Noah. The Heat have Caron Butler. The Hornets, the first Hornets, have Emeka Okafor and Gerald Wallace. Then the second Hornets have Baron Davis, who won an MVP twice, back-to-back years. Jamal McGlure, and pretty much it. Oh, LeBron is there with Quentin Richardson. His team's not very good. They missed the playoffs 2 years in a row. Manu Ginobili plays for the Kings. They actually traded Manu Ginobili for Chris Webber, and then the Spurs won a championship after that trade. So it's weird to see Manu in a different jersey, but the Spurs made the right trade because they won a championship, and then boom, we're right back to our Knicks. Okay, so as far as rebuilding this team, we have this two-headed point guard, and I got to decide between the two, and I'm going to trade Chris Paul. I'd rather have the young Russell Westbrook play alongside Dwayne Wade. So Chris Paul, he's probably got some good trade value. We can bring in James Harden and LaMarcus Aldridge. But the problem with that is James Harden is, 6'5"? And then Dwayne Wade is like, 6'3", 6'4"? So they can't coexist, and I'm not going to put Russell Westbrook back on our bench. So none of these 3 trades really working for me, so let me go find my own trade. So y'all know my methods nowadays. I've explained to y'all how we became the rebuilding god here. Go to Team Intel. It says that our team is buying, which is true. We're trying to win, right? But we're going to cycle through all of these teams and figure out which team is selling, because if a team is selling, that means their player are less valuable to them, so we can steal one of their players. Seems like a lot of teams are either rebuilding or buying. First team that's selling, the Nuggets. Oh, yeah, I'll take Melo off your hands. What other teams? So, Melo, this team don't really got nothing that I want, so I'm going to keep it going. So, we got Melo. We have KD. I don't think they're going to sell KD. He's only 23, but we'll try. Melo, KD. LeBron's team is selling. They didn't make the playoffs the last 2 years, so that makes sense to me. And that's it. Okay, so we got LeBron, Melo, and KD all on teams that are selling. So I'm going to try to throw my best package at all 3 teams and see which one we can end up getting. Some tells me we're not going to get LeBron because LeBron is literally a 99 overall in this game. And that's perfect value. But do you want Chris Paul? Chris Paul has close to perfect value too. So maybe if we sweeten the pot a little bit by giving them Enes Kanter, you give us back your worst player. I don't want to go crazy with the picks because our picks could mean a little bit for us. 2 first rounders. We're willing to give you more though. We don't need both of these small forwards, especially if we got LeBron coming to town. So we will give you the older guy. You give us back Davis Bertans. We throw that second first round pick in. 3rd first round pick. And they will not part on LeBron. Makes sense. Let's try the next guy. I'm willing to also throw in that small forward that we don't need anymore in the first. There it is. Okay. So we just upgraded to Carmelo Anthony, playing alongside Dwayne Wade. Knicks fans, some of y'all love him, some of y'all hate him, but regardless, he's back in the Mecca. He's back in the Garden. Russell Westbrook, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony. Remember, 27-year-old Carmelo Anthony was a monster. And this, he led the league in scoring 2 years in a row in Denver, so we'll take that. We have Ellis Baker, who I don't know anything about because he's a generated dude, and DeMarcus Cousins. Our bench is looking okay. I don't want to trade any more first-round picks, but if we can upgrade from Ellis Baker, I'll take that as a dub. So let's see what's out there. So I think it's that the Rockets were selling, right? Was that the other team that was selling? And I was like, oh, I don't want nothing off their team. Well, y'all has 4-star value for them. We will give y'all Ellis Baker. Obviously, that ain't enough. So we'll also give y'all JJ. JJ Redick has 3-star value in this. Why is Ray Allen's salary a 0? And you give us back your worst player. And I'll give you a bunch of seconds for Yao Ming. Do y'all want seconds? I just traded for Yao Ming. And now I'm going to have Boogie run the 4. And Yao Ming. Come on, man. Don't tell me my trades ain't going to help us out. This is a team that missed the playoffs like 5 years in a row. 5 years in a row. But now they're looking a little bit better now that I took control. Russell, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo, Boogie, and Yao. No injury Yao. Then off our bench, we have Theo Nicholson, who is a small forward / power forward. I don't know what he excels at. He is not a great scorer, great defender, athletic. I'll take that. We have Lee Forbes, who is not a scorer at all. We got Brad Miller. Okay, let's get some. We did just trade our scoring off our bench and JJ Redick, but we can replace that. We can replace that. We're going to trade Brad Miller. He's 100 years old anyway. So we're going to trade for Wally Zerviak. His shooting stuff is crazy. Coming off our bench, the Rockets, again, they were selling, and they're selling Wally Zerviak to be our 6th man. That is a crazy 6th man. I think we are ready to play games. I know we don't have really a backup center, but we have Yao Ming and Boogie Cousins. I think you'll be fine with not having a backup center. So let's go out, simulate this season, and hope that it's good enough to make the playoffs. That's our goal right now, just to make the playoffs. And y'all see how we starting off the season, man. I got no doubt in my mind this is a playoff team. Oh, I forgot to show y'all who's coming in. Again, we're in 2011, 2012. These are the top prospects. Number 1, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Number 1. They got him number 1. Number 2, Anthony Davis. You know, again, just an auto-generated dude. Damian Lillard, Harrison Barnes, Draymond, Bradley Beal, Jay Crowder, Andre Drummond, Deion Waiters. So this draft class has got some hitters. So, again, we're going to be in the playoffs, so we won't get that first overall pick. But somebody's going to get that first overall pick and hopefully take AD over Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. But I don't know. They said he the next coming of Scottie Pippen or something. All right, so Stephen Curry won MVP of this season. Blake Griffin won 6th Man of the Year. Tim Duncan won Defensive Player of the Year. The streak continues, and I think he's 35, so I wonder how long before, he retires? He's going to be still winning Defensive Player of the Year and his retirement. Most Improved Player went to Gordon Hayward, and then Coach of the Year went to Malik Booker. Now, we are the New York Knicks. We won 54 games. Chris Paul made an All-NBA 3rd team, so shout out to him. Dwayne Wade made an All-NBA 2nd team. And defensively, we have Dwayne Wade on the defensive team. And that's how it's going to be. We have the 3rd best record in the Eastern Conference. But before we look at all of that, let's see what teams did make the playoffs and what teams didn't. Because I showed y'all pretty much every team. The 76ers with Steph Curry and AI, the number 1 seed. So maybe this is their year. Maybe this is the year AI gets his ring and then he can retire as one of the greats. But what team didn't make it? The Bucks didn't make it. The Pistons didn't make it. All the teams that I thought would make it basically didn't make it. Out west, though, that Clippers team is still pretty bad. But Kemba Walker is only 83. Again, give him a couple years, they'll be there. Give him a couple years and they'll be there. LeBron made the playoffs, but he is just an 8 seed. He barely makes it in. I feel bad for him, man. They got to build a team around him. But now they have Kawhi starting at power forward, so that should help him out a little bit. But let's see how we fare in the playoffs. Again, I'm going to go just round by round, not doing it slow, just kind of get through it because I do want to go through a couple seasons. And we're pretty deep into this video already. We're still in our first season. And most of that is due to us making trades and stuff. But we get out of the first round and we take them to 7, or they take us to 7, but we come out on top. Russell Westbrook puts up great numbers. Speaking of Russell Westbrook, last night was ridiculous. But it's a bad man. That's a bad man. Next round is against Chicago Bulls, who have Michael Redd, Tyson Chandler. They're not a very good team on paper, but 2K loves that team. But I don't think it matters because it looks like we may be going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we are going against AI, Steph Curry and company, Luol Deng. Part of me want the 76ers to win deep down just so AI can win the championship. But I'm not just going to give it to him. You know, he's going to have to beat us. But if he beats us, I'm not too mad about it. We are up 3-2, and we beat him. Sorry, AI. As we go against the 2 seed Sacramento Kings. Who's on that team? Let's see who's on that Sacramento Kings team because I do not remember. I went the wrong way. The Sacramento Kings made it all the way to the finals. They have Manu as their best player overall-wise, at least. He averaged like 17 this season. Then we got Hedo Turkoglu, Clifford Cohen. They got a bunch of people. They got an old Paige Stojakovic, old Mike Bibby, a young Drew Holiday, old Meadow Kerr. I think we should beat this team. I literally think we should beat this team. Win 2, win 3. Can we do it in 5? Then we do. See, once you give me the keys to your team wins. It's simple. And Dwayne Wade wins Finals MVP. So New York Knicks fans, I did that for you. But that's it. I don't want to control your team anymore. If they want to trade the whole roster, by all means, do you. But for the rest of this video, we're taking a back seat, and I kind of want to see who gets traded where, who signs where, who gets drafted where. And we're going to go a couple more seasons, and we're going to call it a video. But New York Knicks fans, I got y'all. I got y'all that ring y'all been waiting 30, 40 years for. Chris Webber, Ben Wallace, Marcus Camby, D. Fish, Earl Boykins. All these guys retire, and it's a sad, sad day. Next, the draft lottery. Who's going to end up with Anthony Davis? It will be potentially the Hawks. If Anthony Davis ends up in LA with Paul George and James Harden and Kemba Walker, it is a GG for the league. There is no team beating that team in 10 years. Like, that's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. So they better hope the Hawks take Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, like the draft board said. But let's see what the mock draft say. Oh, the mock draft said they're going to take AD. It says they're going to take AD. Do not take Michael Kidd-Gilchrist with the number 2 pick. Take Draymond. Take Bradley Beal. Take anybody except Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. NBA draft time, though. Let's see if they actually take him. All right, the Atlanta Hawks are on the clock. Adam Silver is at the podium, and the Atlanta Hawks take Anthony Davis. Now, I do not remember who else is on his team, but he is going to Atlanta. All right. Atlanta Hawks fans, be happy about that, man. Number 2, they take Dame. Kemba, James Harden, Paul George, LaMarcus Aldridge, Greg Oden. How are they going to balance their guards now? I mean, that's a good problem to have, though. Damian Lillard almost fell to the Portland Trailblazers like he did in real life. But the Trailblazers want to trade Joakim Noah and their 3rd overall pick to the Hawks for a future... Wait. The Hawks are getting the 3rd pick, and they're trading Joakim Noah and a future 1st-round pick. So the Hawks are like, yo, we here? We just picked up Anthony Davis, but there's somebody else in this draft that we want. So we're going to trade the center that we have. So Joakim is going up to Portland. Who did they trade Joakim Noah for? Bradley Beal. They just paired Bradley Beal and Anthony Davis up together. Whoever GM in this team know what they're doing. They got their future set. So we're going to watch it to the 5th overall pick, and then we're going to call it, and we'll just... Michael Gilchrist goes to the Timberwolves. Timberwolves just called an L. I'm sorry, Timberwolves fans. I mean, this is an alternate universe, so maybe Michael Kidd-Gilchrist turns out very good. But part of me don't think that's going to happen. I'm sorry. And the 5th pick, the last pick we're going to actually see, the Cavs take that generated guy. Okay, so let's simulate to the end of this draft, and let's see who else got drafted where. Harrison Barnes went to the Rockets. Draymond goes to the Wizards. Jay Crowder goes to the Warriors. Drummond falls down to 10, and he goes to the Suns, so that's a great pickup at 10. Austin Rivers to the Pacers. Satoransky goes to the Pistons. Is there anybody surprising down here? Chris Middleton goes to the Lakers. 23rd overall pick. Oh, I thought that was Steven Adams. I thought that was going to be Steven Adams. They said center S. Adams. Thought it was Steven, but it's not. Jeremy Lamb goes to the Bulls. Miles Leonard goes to the Kings. And that's pretty much it. Are there any second-round players that we should look at? Not really. All right, so the way this has been working for the past few episodes, people seem to re-sign to the team that they're a part of. Dwayne Wade is a free agent. He's got 11 offers, so who knows? He may leave New York after winning a championship. So Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, we don't have both of those guys. Again, I don't control this team. I put everything on auto. So if the Knicks re-sign both dudes, cool. But if they lose out on both dudes, cool. I don't care anymore. I got y'all ring. I ain't got nothing to do with this. And then they have Dirk. If Dirk ends up anywhere other than the Mavericks, it's going to be a sad day. Joe Johnson, Serge Ibaka. So this class is pretty good. So I'm going to simulate like 5 or 6 days into free agency. Wade left. Wade went to the Sonics. We traded Chris Paul. Again, not we. I mean, it was worth it, right? We won a championship. But Wade goes to the Sonics. D. Rose resigns with the Celtics. Russell Westbrook resigns with us. Dirk is going to New Jersey. The New Jersey Nets just picked up Dirk. Wow. 34-year-old Dirk say he got to get out of there. That's pretty much it. I want to see who's on Dirk's team now, though. He went to the Nets. Dirk, Thomas Walls, RJ. What are you doing, Dirk? Did he do it for the money? I'm disappointed, Dirk. This is supposed to be you in Dallas forever. But I guess not. K Love saves the Mavericks. The Clippers keep Andre Iguodala. DeAndre Jordan stays with the Bucks. The rest don't matter too much. So one more year, I'm going to load in the 2013 draft class. We'll see who gets drafted where. We're going to end the video off. And then next week, we'll go from 2014 to 2018, 19. I don't know exactly, but that's for the future. All right, so if you remember correctly, the 2013 draft class, people had said it was one of the worst draft classes ever. They ended up having Giannis, which y'all know in real life, Giannis went like number 14, 15 in that range. But of course, he's projected to be the first overall pick here because he turned into a superstar. Victor Oladipo. Then we have CJ McCollum, Otto Porter, Michael Kidd, Carter Williams. Like, this was not a very good draft class, but again, we can't skip anything. We have Rudy Gobert, so they do have some players, Steven Adams, but it ain't one of the better draft classes like all the other ones. But again, I'm going to simulate this season. Maybe the Knicks repeat without Dwayne Wade because we still have Melo. We still have Russell Westbrook, Yao Ming, and DeMarcus Cousins. But it could be any other team. One thing that I really like about this series or these videos is the fact that it's never been one team dominating. It's always different every year. So if we ended up repeating, that'll be something new. But we're 4-5, so it don't look like that's going to be the case. LeBron is back. He won MVP, and I think this may be his third MVP of his career so far. Let me double check that. I literally went past it. Accolades. Where you at, baby? Third. Yes, it is his third MVP. Sixth man, which is some generated dude. Tim Duncan wins his 10th. Literally his 10th. Right? Defensive player of the year. 10 years in a row, he has been the best defender in the league. Nobody else. Kyrie Irving was most improved. You did not know Kyrie is back with the Cavs, so he wins most improved player. And then the Jazz's coach. Whoa, LeBron led that team to 64 wins after being an 8th seed last year. So I'm curious to how that went down. We'll take a look at it. Anthony Davis came into the league. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to make the first team All-NBA my rookie season. 20 points per game, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Do we have anybody? Dwayne Wade, who left us. You know, he went to Seattle and made the second team. Carmelo made the third team, though. So we're fine. They won 52 games. You know, they won 52 games. But let's take a look around the league. Very curious. What were LeBron's numbers? He was 7th in the league in scoring, but I'm guessing he had a lot of assists, some rebounds, too. And they were the best team in the league. Steph Curry averages basically 30 and 10 this season. Old Kobe is still giving people buckets at 35, 2nd in the league in scoring. But let's see what teams did and did not make the playoffs, because that's always interesting to me. So we, of course, got the 76ers. This Magic team will always be there. Now that they have John Wall, a 91, T-Mac, Tayshaun Prince, 10-time Defensive Player of the Year, Tim Duncan. Again, 36, and he's still a 99. And then David West. The Bulls team always make it, even though, again, on paper, they don't look that great, but they make it work. This Heat team don't look that good on paper, but they made it. The Boston Celtics, Derrick Rose, Paul Pierce, them make it. Oh, this Bucks team made the playoffs with Dion Waiters. You know, they were just in the lottery. And they picked up Dion Waiters, and they made the playoffs. So the Raptors don't with Vince Carter and Kevin Garnett. That's a yikes. And even an Al Jefferson who's close to being a 99. There's so many players in this league that are close to 99 or are 99. But this team did not make the playoffs. And when the crazy thing is, they had a good record. Like 43 wins and not making the playoffs is sad, but it happens sometimes. Then we have the Pacers team. They got Jeff Teague back, Sean Marion. It's not a crazy good team, but they were close. Then we got Dirk leaving Dallas for this to not make the playoffs. And then that Hawks team with Bradley Beal, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis did not make the playoffs. They got Rondo coming off the bench. Whatever, man. Sean Livingston. This team's a couple years away. Now, in the Western Conference, what did they do to make LeBron's team better? Kawhi Leonard is a lot better nowadays. Marcel Gortat is there. But I think it's just LeBron. What was Kawhi's numbers? 18 points per game. You know, he did his thing. Quentin Richardson is only average of 10. It's a lot of LeBron going on. Then we had the Hornets. The Grizzlies back with KD and Devin Harris and Powell. The Supersonics team. Dwayne Wade left us for. They got Kyle Lowry, Dwayne Wade. They have Al Horford, DeMar DeRozan on their bench with Vladimir Radmanovic. This team is good. They should probably be... Oh, I was going to say they should start DeMar DeRozan as small forward, but their small forward is almost a 90 overall. So the guy from England, Wilfred Livingston. Trailblazers make the playoffs with their team. And the Kings make the playoffs after being in the championship last year. They just make the 8th seed. Oh, no, that's not the 8th seed. That's the 6th seed. Then the Houston Rockets, who we made a trade with last season, get back in the playoffs real quick. It didn't take them long. Did not take them long to get back in the playoffs. And then the Spurs are here as well. The Timberwolves, they suck. They have Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Yikes. All right, let's just see who wins the championship. See who gets drafted where, and then we're going to call it a video, and I'll be back soon with another one. But let's see it all unfold. Again, nobody is repeated in these 3 episodes, so if we somehow do it, and only like we will, we got to eliminate in the first round. But that's the type of stuff I like. I like when parody. Where you go into a season and you don't know who's the favorite. Everybody's just good. I like when that happens. So nobody's repeated. We're going to get 2 brand new teams in the championship because that Sacramento Kings team got eliminated too. Could it be LeBron? Now, if you did not know, in the first episode, LeBron led his team to a championship game twice, but they get eliminated twice. Bulls versus LeBron. Could LeBron get his first ring? And he did it. He is now 1-2 in the finals. He puts up pretty good numbers, and LeBron wins his first NBA championship at 29 years old. Congratulations, LeBron. That Chicago Bulls team made it to the finals again. Like they've been the one team that made it like 4 times, but they only won twice. Retiring, Steve Nash, Chauncey, James Posey. We got some hard hitters here that are retiring. Patty Mills retired. 24 years old, 9-year veteran. I mean, all right. Draft lottery. The Cavs. Giannis and Kyrie may be teaming up. Giannis and Kyrie may be teaming up. We're going to go to it. We're only going to watch the first 3 draft picks, and then we'll simulate the rest to see what goes on. But something tells me Giannis is going number 1. But if he doesn't, that's a yikes for me, Cleveland. Giannis is in Cleveland with Kyrie Irving. Okay, that team, give him a couple of years. I've been saying that about a lot of teams, but this is a team for sure. Give him a couple years. Number 2 pick, probably Victor Oladipo, right? Patrick Little, a generated dude, 33 on his chest, 6'11 from Michigan, goes number 2. Number 3 has to be Victor Oladipo, I would guess. I would hope. No, they want another generated dude. Okay, where does Victor Oladipo fall in this draft? Because, again, he turned out to be a pretty good NBA player. Cody Zeller got drafted before him. He fell to the Pistons. Otto Porter goes to the Mavs. CJ goes to the Lakers. Steven Adams goes to the Nuggets. Goes to the Kings. Where Rudy Gobert goes to the Hornets. That's pretty much it. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave it a like. Again, we're like one more episode left in this entire series. So the more likes y'all leave, the closer I'll be to recording the next episode. Thank you so much. This has been Kenny. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.